Well, number 11, turn over with me to Luke 16. And I'm going to talk faster and you listen faster, okay? Because I want to give you each one of these references this morning. But Luke 16 and verse 10 says this, "He who is faithful in what is least is faithful also in much. And he who is unjust in what is least is unjust also in much." Number 11, pray that they stay faithful in the little things. I can tell how a person's going to turn out by how they do the little things. You know, the big things most people never see. The little things we aren't ashamed of. And if you look at the little things in people's lives, the little loose ends of their lives, if they are unfaithful in the little things, then when you get to the big things, they're going to be unfaithful in those. So pray that they stay faithful in little things. Little agreements, little promises, little commitments are indicative of the condition of the heart and the character of the person. Pray, number 11, they stay faithful in little things. Now to Romans 13 and verse 8. This is what it says, "Owe no one anything except to love one another, for he who loves has fulfilled the law." And this is what I pray, number 12, pray that they become disciplined stewards of their money, that they look at money not as for themselves, not as for their appetites and desires, not just for all their goals and plans, but they become stewards and they realize, all I have belongs to you, for all I have has come from you. Nothing I own, nothing I possess. I don't own or possess anything. I might have the title deeds to a car or something here or there. I don't really own anything. I'm a steward for God's sake. You know what? If you can believe that and live that and instill that in your children, they have a whole different freedom in life. Life is not about how much I can control and own. It's how good a steward am I of what God has given me. You know, we were just traveling the last few weeks, went to the East Coast, and I went to visit one of my students that I taught in seminary who's planted a church way out on the East Coast, out on Cape Cod, sticking out in the ocean. And we were out there visiting, and we had borrowed a motorhome from a friend, and so we pulled into this community center where this church plant is meeting, and I pulled in, had to park right next to this bank of pine trees that borders this parking lot. And I opened the door of the motorhome because it was time for church, and everybody was inside grabbing their Bibles, and one of the buddies was the first one out. And he went skipping down the stairs, and I had not yet had time to give them all the money to put in the offering, because I teach them every time the offering, you ought to give something to the Lord as an act of worship. And so I was sitting there doing all the close down of the motorhome, and I heard his feet hit the pavement, and then I heard, and the first thing out of his mouth, he leaned over, and I could see out the door that there was money laying on the ground of the parking lot. And he reached over and picked it up, and he said, "God provided money for the offering." That was the first thing he thought of when he saw that on the floor, on the ground of the parking lot. And then he looked further into the grass, and that first one was a $1 bill, by the way. The second one was a $20 bill. Got that one. Put both of them in. Now, there was great discussion between the buddies. One of them said, "Dad says you only give part of your money to the Lord." You know, they were trying to work on that 20. And I said, no, become a disciplined steward of money. And I want you to follow that at least till our building program's over, okay? So all money you find, put in the offering. So, pray that they become disciplined stewards of their money and that they will see it as a stewardship from God. Number 13, 1 Corinthians 11:1. If you want to turn there, it says, "Imitate me as I imitate Christ." Pray that they, and if you want to write this on the 13th line, that they want to be like Jesus. You know, that your children should admire you so much they want to be like you, and all of a sudden they look at you and they see looming behind you in huge divine proportions the Lord, and they see that what they loved about you was that you were like the Lord. And pretty soon they love you, but they want to be like Jesus, just like you were. See, that's what parenting's all about. Be followers together of Him, just like I am. Pray that they want to be like Jesus. Number 14, 1 Corinthians 14. If you get to that 40th verse, it says this, "Let all things be done decently and in order." Pray that they want to have an orderly life. You know, God can do great things through a person who will order their life. Can you imagine how hard life would be if the sun rose in the east today and then it would be in the south tomorrow and it would rise in the west, in a week and then maybe in the north? I mean, can you imagine how hard life would be? If winter came between summer and autumn and then we had spring, if everything got... Do you know what's neat about God? Everything's orderly. He just makes life or all the laws of the universe orderly? God says this, pray that your children want an orderly life. Did you know our culture, our world is disorderly, dissonant? They're not orderly. We are to be redemptive, orderly, disciplined. It's a fruit of the Spirit. Number 15, pray, as Ephesians 4:27 says, that they want a godly life. Number 15 on that line, right, want a godly life. This is what it says. Be angry, do not sin. Verse 26, don't let the sun go down in your wrath. Here's the key, verse 27, don't give place to the devil. I want a godly life. I talk and we have discussions and they say, Dad, why don't you want to do this? I said, because I don't want to know evil. I don't want to give a place to the devil. We are supposed to be children, naive when it comes to evil. We are not to deeply know about evil. And if you don't want to deeply know it, don't look at it, don't learn it, don't listen to it, don't watch it 60 feet wide and 30 feet high with surround sound if you don't want to know evil. Why? Because I want a godly life. Pray that your children, number 15, want a godly life, a God-like life, a God-pleasing life, a God-filled life.